Good afternoon. I'm Ethan Moy. I'm here with Coach B as part of the 11th episode of Coach B Weekly. Now, came up with a win yesterday against St. Francis Brooklyn, and also playing kind of simultaneously was the Alabama-Georgia National Championship college football game, and that had a great ending. What I want to ask you here today is what was the most memorable ending that you've witnessed that was a game that you weren't a part of? So no RMU basketball related here, but just, like you as a fan or you just watching a game here.
Most memorable ending to a sporting event that's not involving...
Robert Morris.
Well, let's think here. Well, memorable either good or bad?
I would hope for good, but
okay,
I think
good.
I know your bad one. Because there's a little history between the Bills-Titans here.
Yeah, that was a bad one. Even the missed field goal in Super Bowl in 1990 when 91, I think, when Norwood was wide right. That was when I was a kid, right in the heart of being a fan as a kid. So that was a tough memory. A positive. I remember growing up in Buffalo.
Yeah.
We have a professional hockey team called Buffalo Sabres, as well as you know. And we were playing the Boston Bruins in the first round, and the Bruins were, a big favorite in the series.
Right.
And the Sabres wound up sweeping the Bruins in the first series, in the opening series.
Okay.
And in Game 4, Brad May made a beautiful move to the net and scored, and we came back. We were down 3-0 or 4-0 or something. I can't remember the final score, but we came all the way back and won and swept the Bruins. And I just remember the announcer going crazy. And as a kid, we were all, going nuts in front of the TV when he scored the goal. So I would say that was probably, there's so many exciting moments, but, it wasn't a championship game or anything. It was a playoff game. We wound up winning the series on that goal. But I just remember that was a really exciting moment.
Yeah.
Just so many.
I can say, if I say include the program, RMU women's basketball, then which one would that be?
Well,
there's been so many.
There were so many. The first NCAA tournament berth, I think, was pretty hard to beat.
Yeah.
Just the way it went down, went down to the buzzer, getting that stop on the last possession, at home, the fans storming the court, just the emotion of, doing something that hadn't been done.
Never happened,
Yeah, so I think that was pretty amazing. I mean, the change of the attitude in the program.
Yeah. Especially from where it was at
a
few years prior.
Right, there was a lot building up. We were real close after our first season in 04-05.
Yeah.
And when we came in 03-04 after one season, we got to the conference finals, getting all the way to that final game. We had knocked off St. Francis of PA earlier in the season at their place, so we were going back to a familiar place that we had won before. So the opportunity was there. It was a realistic goal, and we came up short there in that finals. The next year, Suhaiti Monsak tears her ACL, and we go to the semis, but we go down.
And get her back healthy for 6-7. Get Shannon Nesbitt.
Right.
That was a great team, and reward yourself with a first NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that was very exciting because of the drama of the game as well. We were up big early. They came back, took the lead. It looked like we were just falling down.
Just made it look good for TV.
Yeah, believe me, we were really intense down the stretch there, and I just remember fighting back, being down late in that game after blowing a big lead. A lot of people would have wrote you off and said, "Oh, you blew the lead, you're done, you're mentally shot." But we had enough upstairs and enough with our full hearts to overcome that, and then winning it the way we did on the last shot, getting that stop and then storming the court. I would say that's really hard to beat, even though, going by last year and
2014, 2016.
Just the things that happened, the timeline. I can really revisit all these years and talk about how momentous it was. I thought last year, losing Janae Brown at the end of the regular season, winning the regular season championship, and losing her at the same time.
I remember talking to you afterwards. We're happy that we won the regular season championship, but there was still a little bit of sadness there because we didn't know what the diagnosis was going to be with Janae.
It was always it's natural. When you see something like that, you care so much for someone, and she's been so healthy and has been blessed to have such a healthy career, the most durable player we've had.
I can say, we were talking about that she had never missed a game prior to that.
That's right. And, see her go down, but then, really going forward in a positive way. We had to bounce back. And then, obviously one of the most amazing things with, performances of Anna Nicky, leaving the 2 position and going to the point.
Yeah.
That was, kind of similar back before. I remember asking Ashley Ravelli to go from the 2 to the point, and she did it, and we went on that year and won the championship that year. So, similar type of situation. Ashley did it before, and then seeing Anna do it and do it for the whole playoffs like that, just going in, Ashley took over in the middle of the season. Anna took over right to start the playoffs, and she had to click her mind mentally over. And those 2 guys did a great job. And I just remember last year when Anna did it, I've never been so proud. It was just amazing. So, I mean, it's really hard for me to really say one moment, and here I'm kind of long-winded with this answer, but it's just so hard for me because there's just so many great memories, and when you throw the program into the mix, now you got me thinking. So I mean, as a kid, you have those sports moments that just sitting in front of the TV, you watch it, and you just remember those moments that you'll remember where you were and good or bad when that moment happened. Well, I could pretty much remember a lot of moments here at Robert Morris, and those are priceless. Those memories and those priceless moments of being together with the team and doing some amazing things. Those are the kind of things that money can't buy.
Absolutely. Now, going into this past weekend's game, Saturday, you played down at PPG Arena, defeated LIU Brooklyn 60-53. Kind of a defensive slugfest, really. RMU shot about 32% from the field. LIU only 26% from the field. You out-rebounded the Blackbirds 57-35. What really went into that that difference there? Getting onto the glass and pulling down their missed shots there, really.
When we started to get really relentless, we always talk about being relentless, and if you base your success upon just shooting the ball well, you become very high and low. You're going to have days where you shoot it well, and there's going to be days where you struggle to put in a layup, like we were that game. We missed a lot of layups, a lot of shots around the basket that we.
You think that might be because of a new arena? You think that might have played a little bit of part?
We got our shots up. I mean, we started off the game, finished it pretty well. I mean, I think as the game started setting up, we set in and we started to get up and down and possession. We lost attention to detail. We lost, attention to execute. We weren't, going possession at a time of being accountable for the things we needed to do as a team to be free and to play together. So we were losing that gradually as we were going, and we needed to step up with a leadership on the floor, and we needed to start to get back to the servanthood that we had been building upon. And I think that's what really happened there. I mean, even though you miss shots, you could always get after it, like you said, on the glass. And down the stretch, we started to really understand to get back to that, and that's what ultimately really, catapulted us to win that game, is the fact that we did not quit after a missed shot. Now we got after it, we rebounded, we missed a rebound putback, we went and got it again, put it back up, and those and ones and those baskets around, on those second chance points were huge.
And then yesterday, you came away with a 59-36 win over St. Francis Brooklyn. You established a new program record for fewest points allowed in a quarter after it was 11-1 after the first quarter. The previous record was 3 points in that 83-42 win against LIU Brooklyn at the Chuck last season. And you also only allowed 8 points in the half. Would you say, if you're coming up with like a dream RMU game for this program, would that kind of defensive performance be the description, really?
I enjoy those games that you really grind. I enjoy the games where you have to earn what you get. I really enjoy that. I mean, that's just the way I'm built and the way that the team is built, together. I mean, our culture is to just like to grind and to go hard and to make things difficult. Paying attention to detail on defense, being very assertive when we have our opportunities to do something, to take them out of their comfort zone of what they're doing with their offense, focusing in on the scout and executing the game plan defensively and offensively is very important to us. But we definitely set the tone defensively yesterday, obviously having a real historic first quarter and what we did. That was awesome. But then continuing, to keep our level of intensity up and continue to be assertive out there, that was really important for us with that effort. Down the stretch, obviously we got a little lazy, a little bit, as we had a big lead down the stretch, and we allowed them to get to the rim and touch our paint a lot more than they were for the first 3 quarters. But we had a lot to build on. We definitely put a brick in our foundation there. It was a joy to watch us work so hard and serve each other defensively as well as we were. I'm very proud of that win. I would say that that kind of win is something that is a brick in our foundation. Kind of answering your question about the kind of game that I really like. I love seeing accountability on the court and willing to do the hard things in order to obviously work towards a victory like we did last night.
Yeah, and what's even another impressive fact about that game was St. Francis Brooklyn came into that game 12th in the nation in 3-point shooting, and they were, I believe, 3 for 17 in that game. So it really held them, limited their chances, and didn't have great looks from behind the arc there.
That's important. I think they may have missed a couple that they got some decent looks at, but a lot of them, like you said, were contested. And that's we always talk about percentages go up when you're open, and percentages go down when you're rushed and you're shooting over a high hand and you're sped up. So yeah, we did a great job of contesting shots last night and making sure that we were knowing the personnel well, where they like to shoot and how they like to shoot it, and we worked really, really hard. That team is so well coached. I have the biggest respect for Coach Thurston. He's a veteran coach, and he does a great job of not only developing his players on the court but off the court. They always have a very strong GPA, top 5 in the nation every game. They're very intelligent players, and they're very intelligent people, and they got a great culture and work ethic. So going into the game, we knew we had to be good. We knew we had to really work hard because they're the type of team that if you got lazy, they would have shot the ball really well from the perimeter. So I give our guys a lot of credit for working hard, and like you said, it's the kind of game I really like to I like to win those kind.
Yeah. Now this weekend you had a pair of really nice performances from the center position against LIU Brooklyn. Nneka Azebo had 17 points, 13 rebounds for a double-double, and then yesterday Michaela Mulrain had 13 points, 11 rebounds for a double-double. With those two playing together so well, it just makes the offense, a lot more efficient when you can run a lot of set pieces through them.
Well, when you have, rim protectors like they are, being long and aggressive around the basket, and they're finishing well around the basket on the offensive end like they've been, getting after it on the glass, and, when they have their chances to get the ball inside and post up, doing a good job of scoring. Great comeback performance by Mulrain. Michaela has been, somebody that when she can give you those great performances, and then there's some games that she has where she's just, really not on her best, not her best game, like last game at LIU. She started off okay, but she started to miss around the basket, some real easy ones and stuff that, typically she would be finishing no problem. Well, it was a big game for her to come back and respond. And, she had to watch the video, handle it with truth. That stuff happened. You don't just push it away into the closet. You watch it, you take it in, and then you go forward with grace. And you go forward with a work ethic to get it right. And great job by her to come back and have a great performance coming back from that one. And, Nneka had a great performance at LIU where she really, down the stretch, really was a big factor for us. She really helped us win that game. And last night wasn't her best performance as far as, what she's been doing, finishing around the basket and doing some great things, guarding the ball well, sliding her feet. Last night she picked up some fouls, not sliding her feet and stuff like that. But, I expect her, just to get back at it again. If she got a little bit comfortable with what she was doing, you can't get that way. You gotta stay very aggressive and go out there, look to be assertive. And, we'll get that fixed hopefully, and she'll be coming back and having a good performance next time. So real big in the responding, and having two of them in there that complement each other so well is great. It's really a blessing to be able to develop these two into great centers, and I'm looking forward to continuing on with Nneka and having Michaela here use her veteran leadership here knowing how to respond.
Yeah, and now this Saturday, you only have one game this Saturday instead of the usual Saturday-Monday split. You only play Saturday here against St. Francis, PA. You know, with it only being a one-game week compared to the Saturday-Monday tilts, is there anything different that goes into prep? Like, you know, you can throw a little bit more into the Saturday game, or is it still, you know, status quo really?
It really is the same. You know, the fact that, you know, the schedule's this way this year, where you have that one game instead of, you know, 2 and 3 days. You know, we never do things for the 2 games. Right. You know, we do it for the next game, and then we got to turn it around and flip our mind. So, you know, you're always working on things to better your team, you know, for whoever you play. I mean, to a fault maybe sometimes I'm so driven into what we're doing and who we are and working on our things, and not so much into the other team we're playing. But we scout really hard. You know, we really look at what they like to do, and you get clashes of styles, and you know, sometimes there's extreme clashes, and then there's sometimes where there's, you know, there's not extreme clashes, where, you know, like last night, you know, like a Brooklyn team, you know, there's more similar to us than some other teams are, the way they play and how they play and their culture. But at the end of the day, you know, when we get back to the video, you know, and start watching our stuff, you know, that's really mostly what we're working on. And, you know, obviously then preparing for the next opponent. So it won't change anything. I'm very big into routines, you know, as well as you know. I'm not one to say, oh, you know, here comes a different kind of moment, let's change everything we do. I've never been a proponent of that. I always felt that, you know, if you're not doing well at what you're doing, you need to keep working on doing better. You don't change what you do. We tweak it. You know, we tweak it maybe throughout the season. You know, everyone always asks during the break and, you know, stuff like that. Are you going to change a bunch of things? Are you going to change your offense? Are you going to change? You know, we tweak what we do. Always tweaking, always looking to improve it, do things maybe a little differently, but you stay in what you do. You do what you do better. I've always said, jack of all trades and a master of none. That's not for us. We try to master what we do, and you know, that's what we use extended times for, to work on things we need to do better. And, you know, hopefully, you know, whatever teams throw at us, you know, we have our hands wide open with a full heart, and we're ready to take it on and just continue to grind and go hard and learn from our experiences. So, you know, no change in our routine at all. Just continue to go after it. This is a Saturday game just like we've had before. We just got to keep, you know, going one game at a time and just really focusing on this next one and do the best job we can. You know, that's all I ask of them. You know, do the best job you can, keep working hard, keep trying to improve, and always use, you know, your focus on decisions that are made for the best interest of the team.
Well, once again, I thank you for joining me, and good luck on Saturday.
Thanks, Ethan. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Saturday's game against St. Francis, PA will be at 1 o'clock. It can be seen on NEC Front Row.